All right, welcome in to a highlight here for this race here in week 6. We've got 4 racers. Up in the top left, we have bigdywigdy with the special small screen there. Definitely the favorite to win this race here in the blue. As opposed to the other racers, is in top 18. Currently is qualified, doesn't have to go through any wild card. Is currently able to be in the tournament. And has, I think out of all the racers here, is the only one to have gotten first place in a loadout race. To the left of, or to the right of Big D, we have JP here in the sea green bandit. JP had a nice start, got in third place in week 1 in his first inaugural race. But aside from that, has really been struggling, has just been unable to land any sort of completion, or I think has completed like 1 or 2 loadouts since, but hasn't gotten any points, hasn't gotten beyond 4th place, is looking for maybe a change in this race here. Today we'll see if that can happen, and gasoline's going to help a lot for that. Down in the bottom left, we've got Killer Bunny who slept through an alarm, not sure what happened in week 5, but ended up missing the race. So it is starting to slip a lot. Right down to the 21st position. It's still qualified in the wild card, but I mean, if you don't do good in this week, right, your competition, you've got JP who's looking for a slot to get up into that top 22, right? So you wanna beat JP in this if you're Bunny, or you wanna beat Liam here, the 4th racer, the one really low on health. I think that was from a Void Cradle, or just from penny farming. But Liam here in the kind of more of a lime green. That's actually my favorite shade of green. One of my favorite colors. Automatic favorite right there for Liam. But yeah, Liam in the 24th slot. So both JP and Liam currently, as of now, are not qualified for the tournament. But that could change here. And what better of an opportunity than to go up against a bunch of racers who I mean, none of the people from the top 8 are in here. We have no one from the Risk of Resources show match league, right? This is the perfect chance to finish some runs, to try and maybe even get in first place for them, and that's what they'll be doing here. Killer Bunny actually still really low in health. What was that void item? I can't believe I missed it. I was so focused on Liam. I missed out on why everyone's so low in health right now, unless they just kept getting hit. Whatever it was probably not good. I'm assuming it's like a void band or a void crit. A little bit too late for me to go back now. But yeah, everyone's doing the TP except for Liam. Oh, Liam's at it. Liam's at the cradle. Okay, finally, we get to see what it is. It is void crit. Okay. Honestly, if you're playing as Bandit, yes, it is. They are using Blast. I feel like Blast has been here like the past 3 Bandits. There's been a lot of Bandit lately. Oh my god, Killer Bunny's getting really low on health here. 1 Lemurian Fireball, 1 Wisp shot, and Bunny's dead. You gotta be really careful. You can't slow down. Takes care of that Wisp. Very good. Wisps are priority number 1 when you're really low health like this. Priority number 2 would be Lemurians, but while you're doing that, you gotta keep going in that circle. You gotta look out for any new spawns to make sure that they're not going to impede on your circle, and you should be good. I think Killer Bunny's going to be fine there with that all going down. Unless this golem takes a shot, which it doesn't, things are going to be good. Where are they? Oh my god, more enemies are spawning in. TP's finished being charged. There's just a couple of Marines I got to finish off here. Okay, I think things are good. Bit of advice I would have for that whole situation. I mean, a healing drone would have been huge. Everyone else at least had one. But if you're Killer Bunny, and also Killer Bunny, who didn't have the gasoline, didn't have the healing drones, didn't have pennies, with all those shots taken, could have gotten a few extra items on this stage. And I believe he's going to get the pennies right here from this chest. Yes. Big D, by the way, first one to stage 2. As JP also is going to get the Void Crit. Now you can take Void Crit here as JP actually opts to do so. The downside of taking Void Crit right? It's not so much about losing out on normal crit as Bandit if you're behind an enemy and you shoot at it. 100% chance to crit, right? The backstab ability is very, very good. And just with a little bit of movement speed, you're essentially doubling your damage because it's a lot easier to get behind targets. So, Void crit, not the end of the world, right? But what does suck about it is if you do end up finding normal crit, that normal crit can't be turned into anything else. If you have a, I don't know, a focus crystal printer, an armor piercing round printer, a launch printer, a speed printer, and you've got those crit items, those are now locked in the void crit there, right? So hopefully that doesn't happen too much for JP here in this race. Again, with this being a highlight, this is something I watched before. That's actually like, it's been 2 weeks since I watched it, but I still have a pretty good idea, pretty good memory of what happens. Which, again, is why this is a highlight. I can kind of show the things I remember and point them out as they go. Without spoiling too much here. Trying to see, is there any unique items that some of the racers found that no one else found from Stage 1? Everyone has the War Horn from the TP. There's a Harvester's Scythe on Big D, by the way. If your healing drones break at any point and you're stuck without them, at least you're healing for, I believe, 2 per shot with your blast. Maybe a little bit more, even. Killer Bunny, though. Just going straight into the TP here. Going straight for the Vagrant. Has 6 shots of Desperado. Ran back at a fashionable time. Can just get 4 shots in. Is the boss about to level up? It's about to level up. You're in danger. You gotta move. You gotta finish it. Okay, finishes it off. It was like 2 seconds away from leveling up. Yeah, actually, see how it's level 5 right now? I go back. Oh wait, it's still level 5. I thought that would only be level 4. Okay, well, finishes off the jellyfish there. Trying to see how much more time until level 6 pops up. I guess it's still really far away. We'll go ahead and go back to the others. I'll let you know when it happens. Oh, it already happened. Okay. Now, hold up here. So when does it happen, then? Level 5, so level 5, so level 5. Level 4. Was it when running back when it's happened? Okay, it happened there. So the level up happens. Smart play by Killer Bunny to run back. Yeah, okay. That's good. Well done. Finally, we could figure it out. If only I could pay a little more attention. It's like as if I already watched this. Here, we'll get a quick highlight on Big D here. Throws the FMP down. Get some shots off. Easy Vagrant. Again, Bandit with guaranteed crits. It's like double the damage of any other survivor. If you got rid of the backstab ability on Bandit, he would still be a really good survivor. Still really solid of a character, just with all the mobility. Would need a lot more damage items, but I mean, just having natural double damage is insane. Hopu Feather is the boss item, by the way. If JP can kill this Vagrant without dying, we'll have one of his own. It's down to 93 health, though. Needs to be careful. Yeah, it takes care of the little explodey orbs. That's smart. Now, if I was JP here, I've got an FMP. The boss isn't going to level up. Is actually about to. In like 30 or so seconds. It doesn't really matter, though. You want to get some damage off. At the very least, charge TP. Yeah, that's good. That's good for JP. Right. Besides, it's time to stop hiding behind the branch. It's still holding on to the FMP, though. And now the boss is about to level up. It's about to level up, it's about to level up, it's about to level up. Oh, okay. JP decides just to run back. It's fine. And kills it. With... I said it was about to level up. When does it happen? Oh, okay. Well, JP had like another 12 seconds. And is A-okay. Gets the feather. Now the only one who hasn't killed the boss, or sorry, the TP for that matter, would be Liam. Liam going a little bit slower than the other racers here. Chance Shrine on Killer Bunny. That is a Quail and a Watch. Back-to-back hits right next to a Blood Shrine. Could get some extra money if you hit that. Big D thought of that and is like, ooh, I want money. If there is a Void Cradle down the line that he ends up encountering, well, you've got 2 healing drones, they'll heal you back up, you'll be fine. And there is a Void Cradle, okay. So both Killer Bunny and Big D about to get this Void Cradle here. Watch the live reaction. Oh, Big D misses it, actually. Just decides to go back. Maybe he wasn't confident in health value. But it is a Void Scent Flame. Void Scent, that's going to be good down the line here on stage 3. You get a lot of blind pets that just kind of like accumulate in one like thick layer in the atmosphere. It's like a stratus cloud, right? Those flat ones that kind of give those overcasty skies. They're not really big and poofy, right? They're not up and down and all over the place. No, the pets just sit in one line, like X amount of feet off the ground. But if you have that Void Scent Flame, I almost guarantee it's going to hit every single one if you ever have to deal with a bunch. If you're really struggling with AoE damage, which one gasoline's really good, that Void Scent's going to be even better with it. And Killer Bunny, who is, again, trying to keep up in the lead, trying to stay in the tournament picture here, is the first to stage 3. It's too late to pick up the Prion Accumulator, which, I mean, to be fair, there isn't really much going for Prion right now. There could be, right? But we don't see any crowbars, we don't see any bands. Right, there's not a whole lot that's screaming Prion in this build. One conditions that I would think of would be getting a backup. Oh my god, I forgot that happened. Oh my god. Killer Bunny, are you kidding? You know, we used to call this cabbaging back in the day. Killer Bunny playing around with the fusion cells. Let's slow it down. How do I slow it down again? Is it this? Oh, no. Oh, I missed. Is it arrow key? Oh, I don't have VLC selected. Okay. Here we go. I'm gonna do it. Slow time down. Just really enjoying life. La da 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 da. I've got a Max Quail. I've got a goat hoof. I've got a watch. Everything is fine. I'm the first one to this stage, and right here, the smoke bomb has pretty large blast radius. And the second you come out of that, you gotta look out, right? There's barrels right here, there's barrels right here. You gotta be like 6 meters away from that all time, or at least try to shoot them down. Try and I don't know, throw your blast at it, throw a shiv, hell, even your FMP would gasoline kill them if you really have to. If it means not dying here, but there it goes, explodes, and that's death. Right, spawn in, you're at half health, and that's tilting. A run that was going so well for you, a run where you're in the lead over the others. I mean, you're missing the backup magazine, which I feel is I don't want to call it essential, but it is very vital for getting really good DPS with the Shiv as Bandit. When it comes to racing, Mithrix just dies so much faster from all the extra hemorrhage from having that backup mag. And now you've got a 5-minute penalty on your head. At least gets to watch after the death happened. Yeah, we actually used to call that cabbaging, as named after the racer Cabbage over from Risco Resources, who had that happen to him like 3 times in his first month of racing. And then now he doesn't really do it anymore. Oh my god, almost just happened to Big D. Big D used the smoke bomb a little bit, or prematurely ended the smoke bomb though, as to not land in the explosion radius. That could have been close. Big D also at full health. Those things usually won't one-shot you like you saw happen to Killer Bunny. That was probably a result of just spawning in with that Eclipse 1 health, right? Not at full health, and it takes a death. Oh my god, Big D is really playing with fire here. Gets a Void Cradle though, let's see what it is. Hey, another Void Sun. Now at 2. If you have a Recycler, could be a chance. I don't think anyone has one though. Yeah, everyone has FMP. We are looking purely for forgiveness today. What items are extra special here? We see JP with the Mocha and a hoof, but no Quail. right? Didn't find that chance shrine with the watch and quail in it. Liam also hasn't found it, hasn't activated TP yet. And oh my god, as I was looking at Liam, we got to go back again because this is no good. Killer Bunny, the 21th seed, trying to hold on, trying to beat both JP and Liam in order to hold on to that position. I mean, loses a watch from some bleed. We'll actually go back even further. Starts out here. Let's slow it down. And thwack from behind. Now, that's something you gotta look out with when it comes to Imp Overlords when you're playing on Eclipse Aim. Every animation in the entire game. It doesn't matter if something isn't looking at you. It doesn't matter if it would make absolutely no sense. When it comes to Imp Overlords, after they're done punching the ground, they will swipe a bunch of needles. They'll swipe a bunch of needles right before they're punching the ground. They just decide to randomly shoot out shotguns from them, whether or not they're looking at you. It's totally BS. It's something that you pretty much have no chance of understanding or any chance at all of being able to catch it off guard, but sometimes it just happens, and when it happens, well, it's a lesson learned. Same with Elder Lemurians, they'll shoot fireballs behind their head, grandparents will throw rocks way off the trajectory of the way their throwing arm is going. But here we go, Killer Bunny comes from behind, and I think it's the same thing's going to happen. No! Overloading Imp from behind. Takes him out, and that's going to be death number 2. Now a 10-minute penalty behind all of the other racers. Sorry. So, Killer Bunny with that 10-minute penalty. That's going to be good for Liam. Liam, who's still on stage 2, who is charging a TP, maybe might find something that the others didn't, right? Has a blue portal, might go for a blue portal. I think it's not a bad idea if you're 13 minutes in on stage 2. You could try and blue portal your way. You've got a regen scrap, you're only going to lose 4 greens. What do you got? Warhorn. You got a feather. Oh, the feather would suck to lose, but you are bandit, you can get away with that. I think it's at least worth checking out. If it takes an extra like 30 seconds from your run, but there's about a 1 in 4 chance it's something really game-changing. So I think it's worth checking. Now let's see. Bigdy about to be done with the TP charge at, is that 70%? Yeah, doing pretty good, but JP here, taking a lot of bleed. JP, who really is looking good for a first win here, or a first non-4th place placement in the longest time ever. Eats a needle. Oh god, don't walk into the needles. At 7 health. Oh my god, how is he still alive? This is bad. You've got a slug. Right here and right now, you just throw your FMP out. I feel like JP kind of forgets that it exists, but you can just throw it out. You get one every 45 seconds. 45 seconds go by a lot faster than you'd think. Just deal with a crowd of enemies. Make sure you don't get hit by anything. I don't think he has a monster tooth or anything of the sort, but it would solve that whole rat crowd. Or I guess also just a couple shots. We were talking about the Void Sent Flame earlier, which is very good at dealing with those, as we just saw. But so was FMP. Man, it's been like 40 seconds since I mentioned the FMP. Still not using it. This is like the supermassive leech all over again. But it's fine though, as 99% is hit. It's done with the TP. The third one to finish with the TP. Liam, by the way. Liam goes into the portal, sees Ceremonial Daggers, is thinking about it. Now, Daggers is not a good call. You shouldn't do it. Yeah. It's good, I guess, if you're really struggling with AoE damage, but aside from stage, 4, stage 5, stage 3, once you get to the moon, you're going to be wishing you had those 5 green scrap. You're going to be wishing you had that wax quail and feather. Liam did find the quail, by the way, which is really good. But a whole stage behind from Bigdy. Bigdy, the first one to stage 4, Siren's Call, has double Void Sent Flame, which I really like. Has an Ice Band. An Ice Band was found on stage 3. Killer Bunny found it. Killer Bunny also found a rusted key, but Big D did as well. So if they find a rusted lockbox here, that could be good. Could be a value. There's also a key printer, for that matter. So we got 2 racers on the left, both on stage 4, and then 2 on stage 3 on the right. Which is pretty obvious. I'm trying to fill in the blank, trying to move on to a new topic here as I'm trying to figure out this run. And as I'm trying to figure out the run, oh my god, another incident, another Eclipse 1 moment happens here. Take a look at Killer Bunny. I'm slowing it down again. Killer Bunny, the only one to die in this race thus far. That's Liam, my bad. Here he goes. He sees the rusted lockbox, is like, ooh, this could be good. Let's open it up. I think it's a Berserker's Pauldron. Yeah. So not a good item. But you know what's also not good? Is this guy right here. So you can try and move, you know, this way. And sprint, maybe use your shift for a little extra speed. You've got a hoof, you got a quail. You gotta go fast though, because this guy is swaying, and the way he's swaying makes his projectiles a little bit weird. Brass contraptions are funky in that sense. They'll mess your day up. Oh, yeah. Tried to stand still for a second there instead of running. And because of that, takes the death. Yeah, you never want to stop and stand still on those guys. Brass contraptions have been like one of my biggest nemesis as of late. Nemesi, I guess you'd call it. They've gotten me a lot. They've ended a lot of my win streak, because every time I'm doing gauntlet practice, these guys take me down. The timing of them is weird. The way they sway, their projectiles, they're different from all the other enemies in this game. And that's actually going to be a death for Big D here. As again, the same overloading brass contraption. The same one that took down Killer Bunny. Take a look here. Big D goes for a shot. Now, see, Big D's strategy is going for a little bit more of a circle, but a tiny bit of a slowdown there. Runs into the shot. Yeah, you got to keep going in the circle that you've been going in. You can't counter strafe against those guys, especially with the way their shots are a little bit off center. And with that, takes the death again. Brass contraptions are brutal. They do a ton of damage. And when they're elite, when you've got those overloading bubbles, when they're blazing, right, that's even more damage being added on. I believe Big D was like close to full health too. Alright, they're just a guaranteed one-shot. So Big D, the favorite to win the race, overall, with a death. Killer Bunny with 3 deaths. JPW with a lot of mochas. Was printing those earlier. I believe is at 8 mochas. Okay. So that's like 5 hooves worth of speed. Doesn't have the quail, but has the mochas. Mochas, I feel, in almost every run I watch, tend to be huge, tend to be game changers. It's like, oh, I've got more attack speed, and I've got more movement speed, which is nice on almost every survivor, except for Bandit. Decent movement speed's nice. Losing the backup mag, though, I don't like. I think the backup mag is important. Yeah, here's the overloading bell. Oh, we gotta highlight this. This is important. Will the bell take everyone out? I honestly forget. JP is kind of circling. Isn't stopping the circle. Starting to focus on the larva, though. Might be okay. Big D here, meanwhile. Going through the magma worm. Magma worm inside the cave for the TP, which is really scary when there's larva. W is still dealing with the brass contraption. Has it down to half health. Still going at it. Big D finishing off the worm, though. Gets a chrono bobble. And I thought I saw a red bubble. Oh god. I didn't see a red bubble, but an overloading pest shot. No, wait. What is with overloadings today? I forgot this happened. What do I even remember aside from the results of this one? Oh my, let's go back on that. Let's go back on that. We just saw that there. So 2 overloading pests. 1 shoots him. The good news is he escapes the overloading bubble because they don't stick on you. They kind of stick on the ground if they shoot you. But the downside of the sticky on the ground is You don't even see it shoot there. You don't even see it go there. And then suddenly there's an overloading bubble and a +5 as Liam walks back into the overloading shot, into the overloading orb, and takes a death. Oh my god. What a race we have here. As now everyone has a death except for JPW. W, who's a little bit behind though, just got hit by a bell shot. A little bit behind the other two of Killer Bunny and Big D. Killer Bunny, it's fine to be behind, right? You've got a 15-minute lead on in terms of deaths. Soon to be 20. Killer Bunny in a lot of trouble hugging the wall. Hugging the wall is something you never want to do here. It just takes one splash shot from a Greater Wisp, one larva landing somewhere half a mile away from you, and the splash damage will still catch up to you. Gets hit, and yep, that's going to be death number 4. Now a 20-minute deficit from W. And W on stage 4 is just chilling. Having a good time. 4 mochas, good movement speed. Has an opal. Sees an AP printer. That's something you want to go into. That's something Big D knows that. 2, I mean, is going up to 2, prints 3, goes for a 4th, loses a sticky bomb. Really good stuff. Maybe you want to cut it off short? No, goes for a 5th, loses 1 gas but has 2. No, I guess you gotta keep going. I'm just worried about the backup mag, but I mean, who cares about applying all that extra bleed if you've got like infinite amounts of these. Loses the rusted key. That was just a berserker's pauldron up in the way top of the map that we saw Killer Bunny at for the way start of the stage. But that is 8 armor piercing rounds, which means Big D is doing 2.6 times damage off of that alone. That's not including the 2 focus crystals. Takes a little bit of money with him. New equipment found on JP. It's a caffeinator. Hello. JP also has fireworks. And is in an internal debate right now of, ooh, do I keep the FMP with my gasoline, with my monster tooth, or do I instead opt to go for the caffeinator with my firework? And thinks, oh, caffeinator is cool. I'll go for that. I'll do that. And boom. Liam, by the way, 2 stages behind Killer Bunny and Big D. Died? I'm sorry. Oh wait, no, right. JP's the one without the death. But Liam didn't die during the TP, which is good. Right, got the death out of the way early. It was able to find a watch after the death too. It always sucks when you find a watch after you, or right before you die. And it's just like, oh wow, that's a 20% damage reduction. Rest in peace, gone forever. JP found a scrapper, wants to go for the AP rounds. Gotta be careful scrapping when there's still enemies around. You gotta do it fast, and you gotta constantly clear enemies. Which can be annoying, but wants to go for the AP. I'm assuming he's gonna lose the... Oh, chooses to get rid of pennies, that's fine. There's a gun on stage 5. Big D wants it. Sees the Soulless control unit. It's taken pre-spawn. Boom. I want to shoot that. And that's a good call. Really good discipline. Soulless control units at the start of stage 5, you don't want to kill immediately. Just because the boss items on that stage are kind of garbage. Probes are nice, especially with 2 healing drones. They're doing double damage just off of that alone. Put up pretty decent numbers throughout the fight. And it's 2 more diversions, 2 more distractions. It's a very good play there. Liam just on to stage 4 now. It's dealing with the overloading brass contraption alongside a Greater Wisp, alongside some other stuff. The overloading contraption could at any point decide to target Liam. Liam needs to be careful. Liam does throw off the FMP though. A move that almost none of the other racers have been doing this entire time, except for Big D. Really like to see that. That's a good move. That's a good idea. You don't want to hold on to your equipment like it's one of those consumables in those RPG games where you just hold on to it permanently and never use it until the way into the game. It's like, oh yeah, I have all this stuff, and then you immediately annihilate everything. Nope, that's not how it works in Risk of Rain. You get your equipments back very quickly. every 45 seconds. And this run's been going on for like 25 minutes. That's like 30 uses of F&P you could have had by now. 30 dolls throwing out gasoline. 30 dolls with the gasoline and with the watches and other things on it too. And Killer Bunny uses the gun, gets the cores as well. Nice. Killer Bunny was also being harassed by a Zai construct, so that is good discipline not to shoot the Zai instead of the Solus. Right? It's so easy just to say, oh, there's a Zai, I want the Zai dead. Which, I mean, hey, guns could be good for that sometimes. But not this time. Not in this situation. Gets the gun or turret to increase probe damage. It's kind of convenient that turret is placed on the bridge for Killer Bunny. Right, because that's going to make the enemies like want to stay on the bridge more, which is going to have the rocks come through and just knock them off a cliff. We'll see if that happens, or if the gunner turret's just going to die in 10 seconds anyway. I don't know. Soul's Control Unit is the boss. Killer Bunny dealing with 2 alongside Big D. Gets the FMP back in a few seconds. Oop. See that damage go off now? Just go ahead and throw the doll, it's easy. Easy damage. Nope. It's hard to track that thing sometimes, you know? Especially when you're losing all the health. But sometimes when you start taking a lot of damage, you're like, oh no, what can I do? What can I do? How can I fix this? Oh, even with a brooch, that's good value. Doubling health temporarily there. And while Killer Bunny and Big D are dealing with the TP boss, Big D having killed the boss and getting a Rose Buckler from it, we have a problem. And that is W. W on the stage 4 TP, the only one deathless, right, has a 5-minute advantage in real time on Big D, has a 5-minute advantage on Liam, is halfway through the TP fight when Liam hasn't even started it yet, right? And look what happens. Gets hit by a worm, gets hit by another worm, and larva. Wormed into larva. Okay, maybe there was only one worm, but got hit by it a lot. Worms and larva. Takes a death. Luckily didn't lose any watches, right? There were no watches to lose on JP. But he turned them all into Mocha. And uh-oh. On even ground now with everyone having a death. Now you gotta be careful. Look out for the walls. Stay away from the rocks. There's mending larva. That's always annoying because it makes the larva like just constantly not die and they just keep attacking you. Because they're getting healed up. They get an extra attack before they kamikaze. I think Killer Bunny took a death. Now at 5 deaths, yeah. Let's see what happened here. Or do I need to? I feel like death number 6 is about to happen. Uh-oh. Look out. Look out, buddy. Jeez, this is just a really bad spot you don't want to be in. Getting slowed down. If you ever have a Soul's Control Unit, yep, down to 50 health. Healing drones barely keeping Bunny alive. If you ever find yourself almost, or not almost dead, but you have a Soul's Control Unit that's almost dead, make sure you kill it. Make sure you finish it off ASAP. Otherwise, you're just going to keep getting slowed down. You have to hold on to all of your movement speed abilities, and you have to use them every single time that they slow you down. And barely alive thanks to Brooch, I think is going to be okay. W, by the way, immediately going to stage 5 after that death. Got the Chrono Bobble and said, peace out. I'm out of here. W immediately also pinging the Tricorn. Sees a Solus unit halfway across the map, just floating out in the open. Liam going for AP rounds. How many will he go for? Who knows? Oh, you know what I just realized about Killer Bunny? As Killer Bunny dies from the overloading orbs from that Wisp, I believe. Yeah, overloading Wisp took him out. It might die again. Again, getting slowed down. Needs to finish it off. Needs to finish off that Soul's Control Unit. All focus. No focus on mushrooms or anything else. Yeah, there you go. Takes it out. No longer getting slowed by 60% every 10 seconds. But Killer Bunny doesn't have any of the AP rounds from Stage 4. Right, hasn't gotten into any printer this whole run, actually. Right, do you see any AP rounds on the screen? No, you don't. You see 8 on Big D's, though. Big D with 8 of them. Okay, it kind of just looks like a blur. You can't really tell. But just imagine that's the number 8. Big D with safer spaces, by the way. Found a Void Cradle that had that. Is now running around with a Pillar Skip in hand. Movement speed, though, is 1 hoof. I don't think is able to Host Skip with that. Maybe if you had a Harpoon. But we have JP printed 4, which is half of what Big D has. Starts the TP, is going to do 80% more damage. Thinks about the Soul's Empathy Cores. Is like, I'll just kill the Zai construct. Kills the Zai. Doesn't have to deal with that now. And we'll get an Alpha construct. That's really excited about this Defense Nucleus. Picks it up immediately. He's like, oh man, I love this item. And has it. Liam, how many? I think it's 5 printed? Yeah. So yeah, Big D on the moon with the 1 death has 8 AP rounds. Has kept the backup magazine. Has, I believe, 2 focus crystals. Liam has 3 focus crystals. Liam has 3 sticky bombs. Right, the only racer aside from Killer Bunny, I think, that kept the sticky bombs. Alright, so that's a 15% chance to do 180% damage, which isn't bad. I would say that going for any sort of proc chain, right, that's kind of the purpose of sticky bomb is high burst slash, in addition to a proc chain. It's about all you really have it for. And there is no high burst, right? There's no capacitor, there's no Prion, anything like that. So not really too much value there. I would definitely, if I was Liam, I would scrap that and turn that into AP rounds. I would make the Mithrix fight so much faster. I would make killing these Souls control units so much faster. Right, W just trying to deal with them. Hasn't even activated or started charging TP. Which is personally what I would be doing. If you can't, like, it's better to charge the TP than to shoot at the boss. That's my advice to people racing. If you have a boss, it's at full health. Usually they're not that aggressive at full health, right? You have Stone Titans, you have Vagrants, you have Doomstriders, whatever it may be. They all have, like, these special abilities when they get to a quarter health. But Big D's doing a host skip in that spot. It's not going to be enough. Or is it? No, that's... Oh, okay, that's a good launch. Going for the launch me to the soup position. We'll get to the soups. Oh no, Liam took a death. Is that an Alloy Worship unit? Oh no. Wait, what happened? Liam done with the stage 4 TP. I was too busy looking at the pillar skips. It's like, alright, here's my chance. Time to fight the worship unit. The whirring grows loud. Didn't even try to do any funky skip. And it's like, alright, time to get this red item. I've only got a 5-minute penalty right now. Pew pew pew. And whole line of shots. Sometimes they go for a horizontal blast, sometimes it's a vertical blast. That was a horizontal, and it was all entirely on Liam. And Liam's like, that was a mistake. I should not have done that. Oh no. And doesn't use a scrapper, doesn't print anything else, just is afraid, and misses out on all the AP rounds. And while that happened, you know who did scrap a little bit, got a few white scraps on the previous stage, is Big D, who gets an ATG missile for 3 white scrap. Nicely done. Good stuff. There was also a fireworks soup on the moon. Fireworks soup that W, who is still at 27% for the boss, is very much out of bounds, is trying to cope strat. I'm not sure what's going on. But if W does get access to that, does have a red item that he finds at some point somehow, could have used that. Killer Bunny, by the way, also heading over to the host skip position. That was a topic I wanted to go over earlier. In terms of host skipping, Big D's movement speed is 1 hoof. And just 1 hoof. But Big D does a lot of labbing. And even just with that 1 hoof, we'll see this isn't going to be enough for Big D. But it's like, okay, that's fine. I'm Bandit. I have a feather. And I think, yeah, it goes for the awkward position where you have to go underneath the soups. It's really hard to pull off and has a high fail rate. Hits the lip there, not quite enough, but with the feather, with the smoke bomb, is able to get into the arena. That was a 1 hoof and 1 feather skip done by Big D. Well done. I can't even pull that off myself. Big D knows his tech. He's got it down and is already finding the Mithrix. The Mithrix? A Mithrix. The Mithrix. Is using safer spaces. Really good thing about safer spaces, you can play phase 1 incredibly aggressive without taking damage. Okay, it doesn't help when you get hit when it's down, but as long as you've got that bubble, you can be super aggro on Mithrix, feather or not. It's just once that goes down, then you're in trouble. And this is going to be the opportunity, this is going to be the chance for Big D here to, again, start building up that hemorrhage as Mithrix goes back into the center of the arena. Really slow, though, again, having to use the quails to try and get behind him. Pulls it in. Very nice. And while that's happening, we have to pause because we got to go back. Something else happened over on W's screen. Let's take a look at this. W, who's just been kind of camping outside the TP bound, is at like 50-some%. Just kind of chilling. Oh, that's why he's out. There's an overloading Elder. Just kind of chilling in there. Stuck on the crab trap. He walks away, doesn't try to jump over, and as a result takes a death. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I don't know how to get past that one. Okay, gotta get the Elder unstuck, which JP does successfully. Doesn't have to worry about that anymore for the time being, but it's just gonna fall back down right in front of JP, actually. Come right back. Unless it took the vent. Then you're safe from it for a long time. Surrounded on all fronts, and now with 2 deaths. 2 deaths that Liam also has. Right, Liam took that 1 death from the worship unit. Suddenly... Wait. Why is Killer Bunny at 6 deaths? He was always at 6 deaths, right? There was no host casualty, was there? I don't think there was, but another casualty that we do know about is W, who dies yet again, trying to charge the TP. Something's back over there. Maybe it's the overloading Elder. Maybe it was just all the Souls control units kind of stockpiling. Right, it's nice that JP is actually trying to focus on charging TP. Oh, yeah, the Elder's there. And the Elder's kind of standing on top of the on top of the cores there. Using the attack speed to his advantage, though. And while all that's going on, I mean, Big D, who has the lead, not only in real time, but also in game time. All right, look at Big D, already almost done with phase 2. Is going to be getting over towards the center to try and start the hemorrhage up. It's really nice when you have some focus crystals, when you've got an ATG, when you've got, what is that, 8 armor piercing rounds, some probes and healing drones to distract Mithrix as well, to keep up those crit shots. A really solid build. And Big D's gonna be done with this race in probably, like, I would say 2 minutes. Gonna be done with phase 3. Doesn't really have a way for phase 4 skipping. So he begins pizza here. And while he's beginning pizza, you know who's trying to do the same thing that JP or that Big D pulled off? Take a look at Killer Bunny. Right, Killer Bunny started host skipping maybe like a minute after Big D. And just doesn't know the spot. Right? Killer Bunny's host skipping knowledge is about as good as mine. Types in all caps, Look at that. There we are. There's Killer Bunny, still trying to go for the skip. Still trying to do what he can do. But now with the Perfected Chimera shooting him and with the skip still being attempted after all this time, hopefully it doesn't take a death. That Chimera there. Yeah, it's going for take number 4. Has like 5 minutes of enemies built up right there. Hopefully it doesn't slam into one of them. Big D almost done with the fight. Liam still at 2 deaths. Hasn't activated the teleport though. JP does die, though. And how do we see this go down? Because JP and Liam are the two racers that we could still see having a good chance of being able to take down Killer Bunny and get second or third, but not if these deaths keep coming in. JP got a grandparent on his side. That's useful. What's not so useful is the position of the grandparent. The sun is out of range for everything except inside the TP bounds. And it's all these souls control units, all these RAS contraptions are, yeah, just not in range. That's going to be a death, and an unfortunate event for W, who is now down to 4 deaths. Killer Bunny's only at 6, and yeah, there goes Liam as well. Was really getting low on health, and with no Rose Buckler, no Repulsion Armor Plates, no Topaz Roach with the FMP, right? It's just going to take a death. And also taking a death, though, is Killer Bunny. Killer Bunny at 72 minutes real time. I mean, only has 10 minutes to finish off the fight as Big D gets over to phase 4, assuming no deaths happen. Big D gets right behind. Oh, there's probes. Could die from those. You got to be careful. There goes the laser. Oh, there really goes the laser. Big D running away. Run. Run, Big D. Down to 50 health. And are the orbs going to hit? Oh, I forget. I forget what's happening here. Here come the orbs again. Still running away from the probes. Takes a shot at Mithrix. Oh my god, this is so close. The probes are going so fast with such little amount of movement speed, having to rely on the wax quail. But there it goes. Big D survives phase 4 without a death. And because of that, I mean, if you're the other racers right then and there, you needed Big D to die. Liam at 54 minutes. W at 59 minutes. Right, and looking like they might die even more. Liam hasn't even activated the TP yet, and Killer Bunny, for that matter, I mean, 84, 85 minutes could be the cutoff. I guess if you're Killer Bunny, as long as you don't die, you can probably finish this run. Right, you gotta try and build up some hemorrhage. It's really important to do that. And is attempting to do so, but only 1 quail. Big D had 2 quail. That's another death for JP. Let's take a look at that. Really low in health. Still just hanging out in this corner here. That fat grandparent just won't leave the TP. And with all these empathy cores just popping up with the Soulless control unit still alive. Or not empathy cores. What are they? Soulless probes? That's their name. That's the name of the enemy. JP now just is being forced to retreat. I think the control unit finally took aggro to the grandparent, is going down in there, and is gonna die. Finally. Okay. Good news for W. Who can finally just loot the map a little bit, get the safer spaces above the TP, if he remembers. Jeez. Oh, Liam, who found the safer spaces, by the way, at 55 minutes in game time, only 10 minutes behind Big D. Only 2 more deaths more, at 3 deaths while Big D's at 1. Liam killed the TP boss. Killed all the pre-spawns, is feeling pretty safe right now. But what was it that did it? Was it the 4 Void Sent Flame that helped? It was probably the 5 armor-piercing rounds on top of the Void Sent Flames. On top of the Focus Crystal and the Sticky Bombs, and just really good damage overall. And I believe that's at 45-13 that Big D comes in with for first place. Well done, Big D. GG's. We'll go ahead and get that time up. Time to complete for Big D is, or for the other racers, 85-13 is the time they have. The good news with that safer spaces is going to be a lot harder to die, right? A swipe happened right there for Killer Bunny. Killer Bunny is able to start building up the hemorrhage a tiny bit. You want to, wherever Mithrix is looking at when he goes up, is the same direction he's going to be looking at when he lands. So you can kind of use that to aim this the hemorrhage, or also aim just getting backstab damage in general. Right, see how he was looking there? If Killer Bunny just stands right where he's standing, Boom, backstab. Nice. And phase 1's going a lot faster now. Everything's starting to build up for Killer Bunny. As all of these racers are 2 deaths apart from each other, right? We've got Liam, the furthest behind on stage 5. Right, 57 minutes. Only 3 deaths total, right? Has what, 25 minutes to finish? Then we've got W. W at 67 minutes. Has about 18 minutes-ish to finish. So not bad. Definitely manageable, but you don't have the safer spaces because you never looked up. JP's without that, and then we got Killer Bunny. Down to 8 minutes. Cannot die. Has to do this deathless. Oop, that's the time. Has to do it deathless. Has to do phase 2 and phase 3 deathless, and it's not looking good for Killer Bunny, who's really getting hit a lot on phase 1 of all things. You definitely don't want to be getting your damage taken here. If anything, if you are going to take some damage, it's going to be phase 2. Maybe phase 3 at the way in, but phase 1, you got to hold on to all the curse, all of your max HP as much as you can. Rusted Lockbox, by the way, opened up for W. It's a ukulele. That'll help for phase 2, perhaps. We'll have to see. Liam, though, now on the moon. Did not take any other deaths. It's been a few minutes since we saw the last death, actually, which is kind of cool. You know what's not cool, though, is Killer Bunny, whose only healing source is... scanning, nothing. Takes a death. Has a Bungus and Monster Teeth. Maybe could use that with the FMPs to try and get some orbs down. Maybe throw that on like one of the golems, maybe on one of the wisps, but with that death is now on death's door, unless some weird damage technique is discovered. Killer Bunny is going to have to concede the run. And get a DNF. We'll go ahead and hand out the points to Big D, by the way. Big D, who's guaranteed absolutely 100% confirmed to get double bonus points, right? Has finished 10 minutes faster than any other racer. Is looking quite stellar. And there goes the timeout as yet another death kicks in here. Killer Bunny is going to be told to concede. The timeout is called. I'll go ahead and move ahead here as the Killer Bunny found a... Yeah, don't mind that. Let's see, that brings us down to these 2 racers right here, who have until 85-13 to complete. And not only is that like their deadline, but they also have to, you know, they could have a chance of beating one another, right, if they both finish. And that means if you're W, you gotta hope that Liam dies with that 10-minute advantage. Neither racer having started any pillar yet, Liam with just a slight advantage, or W with just a slight advantage in terms of being over at the soups, goes ahead and activates the first pillar. Got an ATG from the soup. I don't know if that was a blind print or not. That's a good call. I feel like if anyone's going to do that, the person who would take the most advantage from it would probably be Liam. Uh-oh. Nope. W got caught up. W didn't deal with all the wisps and stuff leading up. And take a look at this. There's a perfected wisp coming in. He takes a shot at it, has no drones alive, and everything just focuses in on W all at once. And that's going to be a death for W. It's not over yet. W still has a little bit of time, but needs to play essentially perfect. Also, W not very happy, takes a timeout after that, just needs to take a little bit of a breather, expecting to be pulled out. But not getting any messages, not getting any cues or notifications. Will eventually continue. And while he's paused, we'll just go ahead and take a look over at Liam. Oh, W's back. W's back. W at 75 minutes, has 10 minutes still to finish. Needs to play essentially perfect, needs to get both pillars down. Has a little bit better of a damage setup than than Killer Bunny with the AP rounds, so might have a shot. But needs to go really good, and Liam, oh god. Is that 2 Perfected Wisps gatekeeping? The gatekeepers are here, and W takes a death, and everyone's dying all over the place. W doesn't know what to do, is thinking about the pillar. Do I have any teddy bears? Can I teddy bear host skip? No, I can't. If only W found the safer spaces, runs out of the corner here. And that's another death. That's going to do it for W. Just back-to-back-to-back deaths. Gets kind of spammed by the Lazarus wing notification. As just no answer is found. What you wanted to do there if you're W, and I mean, one, having some drones would be nice. Having some healing drones with this empathy cores. W didn't go for empathy cores. W instead went for defense nucleus. So, had that instead. And I guess didn't have to deal with his eye construct, but on the other end, right, didn't have the cores, a lot less distractions. I mean, Liam didn't even get either of those. Has a bunch of drones, but doesn't have the cores, doesn't have the defense nucleus, has nothing. But does have 18 minutes to finish this up. If all those ads are over there, what you gotta do is you gotta run really fast. You gotta run fast, you got the... I was going for a host skip. Now, this position won't work, but what it can do is it can get you over a little bit faster. If you have this much movement speed, though, I don't know if it's actually a speed up. Yeah. You're probably just better off running. Oh, it's trying the multi-position? I don't think this one works. Yeah, it uses the smoke bomb and it cancels all movement speed, whatever was there. And wasn't even underneath correctly. That one's hard to pull off. Isn't really happy about it. You can usually tell if Liam's starting to get stressed out. Right, you can see how high his sensitivity is set to. But things get really, really shaky. At the 68-minute mark, again, has until 85 minutes. Maybe with all the timeouts is feeling like, oh no, maybe it's just technical difficulties. Probably not, though. They're probably thinking the worst-case scenario, which is everyone else getting forced to concede. Which, I mean, is the case, but... was only the case because of all the deaths that were there. And Liam only has 4 deaths, right? Still has a good chance. The first placer died a few times, and Liam's going to go for the host skip. Has 2 hooves. Any mochas? No. Any red whips? No. Any energy drink? No. So this is going to be a little bit tough to pull off. It'll be a tiny bit awkward. I think Liam, even with the normal standard positioning, has the feather, has the smoke bomb, will probably be able to pull something off here. Is there bandolier? No, there's no bandolier. You can't try to FMP into bandolier. And that should do it. We'll smack the top here. Has the feather. Oh, no. Nope, that's not enough. But if you go for it again, assuming you don't slam or face plant or anything weird like that. Sprints. Ooh, that's a lot of speed. Hopefully not. Oh, that's definitely in. That's in. There you go. Smoke bomb, feathers. Boom. Has 16 minutes to do this fight. Has 5 AP rounds. Doesn't have any watches. We'll see what happens here. Is using the FMP to get some damage on. That's smart. You have all of the uses of your equipment. And you want that constantly, you want that timer to constantly be on cooldown. When you have a fuel cell, why not? You know, you've at least got one you can hold on to. You just keep that ticking, keep it going, keep it going. Liam already having Mithrix down 75%. He's making good time, making good progress. We'll get 2 points. We'll get in 2nd place here. If he can kill Mithrix, that is. This is time, yes, you do want to get close in on Mithrix. Yeah, there you go. Gets a lot of hemorrhage stacks in there, knows how to play this pretty well. Hemorrhage is in there, FMP is getting in there. He's shooting when he can. Right, even has a couple stacks of Desperado. which is kind of nice. Is that 20% more damage on the revolver? It's something. Getting, what is it, like 660%? No, more than that. It's like 720. Multiplied by Slayer. Oh, he has 2 backup mags. That's really, really good. If you have 2, you might as well just wait for Mithrix to land, and then you can just throw all of them. Yeah, had the hemorrhage reset there. It's kind of unfortunate. But as long as Mithrix doesn't get baited by any attacks, he usually goes down. Oh wait, no, Liam isn't getting in the right position. Yeah, stood in front. Could have used that time to run behind Mithrix to try and get some crit damage, but either way, is done with phase 1. Has 14 minutes, and is beginning phase 2. Has a bunch of drones, so it shouldn't be too hard. Right, has those Void Sent Flames to also help out. I feel like 1 crowbar would have been huge on that. Uh-oh, orb. Still alive, though. You can recover. Don't throw. Don't tilt. Don't tilt. Keep focused. Uh-oh. Oh, smoke bombs. Makes you invisible. There you go. Safer Spaces saves you. Run. Run in a circle-ish, though. Oh, you're gonna get orbed. You're gonna get orbed. Nope, at 30 health. Oh my god, how's he doing this? How is he still alive? I don't even know. The second one of these things go for another rapid fire mode, though, Safer Spaces will pop, the Opal will pop, and he will be dead. Nope, an Opal comes out, though. Or Safer Spaces gets popped. I'm an orb. 1 kill. Does not get Lights Out, or Desperado from it. Gets Desperado from that one, though. I think you lose all your Desperado stacks if you die. So that would be ideal if that were not to happen. And a little bit of Topaz Brooch value as well. Not that it'll really do much. Looks like that one Aegis gift. It's popping up for like a 10th of a second, goes away. I was really starting to stack up Desperado. It's gonna make the phase 3 a lot better. If you get some good burst damage off the Desperado into a sticky bomb, that could be good. Rock your Ice Band off of Desperado? Could be good. Are there any other Wisps still alive? I don't think so. I think they all died. Oh, jeez. Man, look at that damage. That's good. That did half of a Golem's health. And now at 8 stacks. Begins phase 3, cannot die twice. Might be able to get away with 1 death. Might. For that to happen, though... You'd have to try and get as much damage out now. That 8 Desperado is like double damage, pretty much. Off your revolver, off your burst shots, off your ice bands, and oh no, loses the Safer Spaces to an exploder shot from behind. Wasn't focusing on the drones, was focusing on him instead, and now cannot afford any other deaths. Needs to finish this off, and is taking hits. Things are getting sloppy here. Things are falling apart. All the concentration is going away with 8 stacks of Desperado gone. A little bit tilting. Pizza number 1's gonna begin. Eats a slice. What happened to Mithrix? Okay, he like teleported. Mid pizza. What's up with that? This is pre-devotion, so we'll never know. Loses some drones. You've got about 1 other pizza before all of your drones are gone. And if you lose all of your drones, with the way that you're playing as Liam, right? It's pretty much over. You got to be going in more circles. You got to be maybe not circling directly, but at least going for like curves and looking out for the shockwaves more. You can kind of see it in Liam, where he'll do that, and then he'll just kind of stop thinking for just a second, and all those exploders, oh my god, 34 health away from losing. Right, this is definitely doable. You just cannot die as Liam. You can't have it happen to you. But it's going to be another pizza. This is the last pizza you really have to deal with. Slayer damage is kicking in with the revolver. Doing so much more had he not taken that first death. could have maybe had Mithrix dead by now with all that Desperado. Here comes the shots, but here comes a lot of Golem shots. Golem shots are very powerful. Oh my god, loses safer spaces. And just like that, with the Golem coming in with another shot, puts Liam over the board. And with one death more, right? Had Big D died on phase 4, I think Liam would have been able to qualify in this loadout. Would have been able to get Mithrix dead on phase 4. Maybe, you know, another death would have happened, or something else would have entirely happened, but who knows? What we do know is that Liam messed up one too many times where it mattered most, and as a result has to concede the run. That's going to be it. A triple DNF for the other racers. And just giga points, giga value for Big D here, which, let's take a look at that one more time. A 45-13, only one death. Everyone else died at least, what, like 6-7 times? Liam was super close. Killer Bunny had the pillar skipping incident and had a lot of deaths on, what was it, stage 3? Yeah, it was 3, stage 3. And then W had the soup incident. All that combined, I mean, well done to Big D for loadout 1 here, but it's not over yet. An inverse sweep is still possible. If Big D is forced to DNF part 2 of this race, things could turn around for W, for Liam, for Bunny. And we'll see what happens. Coming up in the next video, in the next part of this. I hope you liked part 1 here. If you liked it, feel free to leave a comment. Feel free to leave a like. Feel free to subscribe. All that YouTube stuff that I'm still getting used to saying. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time. Peace out.